morning, Connections. It's Wednesday, October 27th, 21. Thank you for being here again. Thank you for continuing to pursue God with everything that you are. And I hope that you are beginning to discover what a joy it is to be in God's presence, and that even though it may feel awkward, difficult, scary to stand before God and to ask Him to search, it is necessary and it leads to greater things. As we allow God to sift through all of the stuff that needs to be sifted through for us to become everything that He's intended us to be, we begin to have a better understanding of our purpose and a better understanding of His will and His heart. So let's get started. Talking this week, kind of blew the lead, search me, as God the prospector sifts through all of the garbage to get to the good stuff. Today we're talking about loathing. And if it hasn't become apparent to you yet, I hope by the end of today's word, you'll grasp it. The devil has an instrument, a weapon, to use against you for any occasion. On Monday, we talked about arrogance, that pride can overwhelm us and keep us from developing relationships, keep us from being able to develop a heart that resembles God's. And then yesterday we talked about loneliness, completely different weapon, completely different target, but it hits us at the core. Makes us feel isolated and alone. And it's where we entertain the what's the point spirit from last week. What does it matter? No one cares about me. The opposite of arrogance is loathing, especially self-loathing. Believing that we have no worth. Perhaps it's a message that was sown into us early in our development. Perhaps a teacher who didn't believe in us, or parents who didn't believe in us. Told us that we would never amount to anything. And while we shielded ourselves from it for a time, and perhaps it motivated us to rebel and move out into the world, we get a little bit later in our life and we haven't found the success, we haven't found our purpose. And that voice who sowed that first seed of you'll never amount to anything continues to echo in our heads. One of the things that I need you to recognize is when you agree with that voice, you are questioning God's ability to overcome. You are hampering God's ability to work in your life. And it hampers God's ability to encourage others. The worst thing about self-loathing is that it stills us on our feet, stills us in our tracks. And we can't properly minister to others because we appear as hypocrites. We say to others, yes, God heals. Yes, God is all powerful. Sooner or later, the people that you are ministering to will turn to you and say, why haven't you allowed God to heal you? Why haven't you grasped hold of the power that you say is so easily accessible? And then you will say something silly like, your sin is something that God can deal with, but my sin, it's much heavier and much deeper than you can imagine. Which might sound reasonable to your ear, but to everyone else, it's tinged with pride and insincerity. Self-loathing takes us from the battlefield and inhibits us from reaching anyone. And if we don't deal with it, then our chances for seeing home diminish. Allow God to weed out, to sift out your self-loathing and recognize that you have a purpose and you are part of God's plan. And the best thing that you can do is plunge with both feet into your relationship with God. Romans 12, 6 through 9. Speaking of plunging with both feet, this is Paul's answer to the question, what do I do next? Paul's answer, we'll go through the passage, but his simplified answer is, just do it. Do what you know to do. Do what God has purposed you to do. He might add, he might subtract, he might change you in some fashion in the future, but right now, just do what you know to do. We have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy in accordance with your faith. If it's serving, then serve. If it's teaching, then teach. If it's to encourage, then give encouragement. If it's giving, then give generously. If it's to lead, do it diligently. If it's to show mercy, do it cheerfully. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil and cling to what is good. Above everything else, we must be authentic, sincere. Do what God has placed before you and do it well to honor Him. But what do I do next? That's for you to discover as you deepen your relationship with God. But the next step is clear. And the only thing that is hindering you from taking that next step is your willingness to trust God and believe that His power is everything that He says it is. Allow Him to weed out that loathing so that you can be a witness to His greatness. Is God as great as you say He is? Prove it. And that's when we come to Psalm 139. And this is a celebration of everything that God has done for us. We recognize that we are part of God's creation, and God's creation is amazing. You, as part of God's creation, are built to testify to his greatness. Continuing at 13, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. The beauty of salvation, the beauty of coming into this place where we commune with God, is our story is about God. Takes this irreconcilable misfit and crafts him into a precision instrument. How do we know that God's creation is great? I'm living proof, as the psalmist would say. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in the book before one of them came to be. Once again, referencing to God's greatness, that he is beyond our comprehension, that he's always been and always will be. That he knew us long before we came to be known. It's time that we lean into God's plan and his perfection, and stop overthinking and just move forward doing what God has called us to do. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I'm still with you. The greatness of God can have us feeling small. And if we're not careful, that feeling of small, the devil can get a hold of that and make us feel insignificant. But by what Jesus accomplishes on the cross, God says differently. God says to each and every one of us that you are special. And you have so much value to me. You are worth my son's wounds, my son's crucifixion, my son being cut off from me. He willingly gave his life for you because you have great value. That's a God that I desire to serve. That's a God that I desire to spend an eternity with. That is the God that knew you before and has purposed you for this time, for this season, to accomplish not only your own salvation, the salvation of all those that you might reach. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord. We come before you, Lord, and we've been holding on to this one. Our self-loathing. We have bought the lie, and the devil has time and time again reinforced that we have no purpose, no worth, no future. Where we may have rebelled against the idea when we were younger, now that we are later in life, it has crushed us. Forgive us, Lord. We don't desire to live like this any longer. We now recognize that as we give into self-loathing, we are denying you. The devil knew this from the very beginning, and we fell for it. You have made a way out of this darkness. Help us grab a hold of your hand and leave the loathing and the feelings of insignificance behind as we do what we know to do. You desire to knit us into your body and into your kingdom. The rest of the steps will come, but number one, we step out in faith today, untethering ourselves from self-loathing to live with you, to glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, family. Don't forget, see you back here tomorrow. We've got a couple more installments this week. Still trying to work out details for Sunday. There is a good chance at this point, not written in stone, that we will not be picking up at the Kearney Center until they give us the green light. But we will pick up in the neighborhood in a smaller way. And we may be gathering at the new church building. More details on that as we get later in the week. But we will have some sort of service on Sunday, just not certain who will be live and who will be watching from home. But know that I love you and I miss you. Have more information for you soon. Until then, be good.